listener. It's so wonderful to have you here. You were the one we asked for on our list. We picked you specifically, dear listener. And they said, hey, there's room to write, if we can't get dear listener, there's room for some alternates. If we could go to that. And we looked at each other and we said, no. If we can't have dear listener, we don't want anyone at all. I would rather speak into the void. Would rather let our voices trail off into an infinite black hole than speak to anyone but dear listener. And what a treat it is for us. And not even a treat, our only sustenance. A treat would be extra, and certainly our love for you spills over into extra. But we need it. We need it. We crave it. I am joined by my two potential co-hosts. One of them, he's boy, you need help moving something heavy or light. Maybe just a lot of light things. He'll be there for you.
I'll be there.
You need him to discuss a free video game that you've given him a code to. I don't know if he'll be there for that. Well, I know that he won't, actually. I know that he won't. It's Dylan.
Hello.
Hey, Dylan, I got this organ I got to move out here. Would you give me a hand with that?
Of course I will. Be right over.
It's true. And here, close to me in spirit and close to me in body, close to me in flesh, close to me in mind and heart, close to me in purpose, close to me in moral compass. My lover. Got Cans for Days can that won't quit. She's the eye candy of the pod. It's Courtney.
Hi.
Hey, Courtney. I want to look at some cans for days. You think you could help me out there?
Oh, yeah.
It's true. I know
wow.
you would.
Wow.
And now, when you hear this, we're gonna be past it. But today, it's the big game. That on as of we're recording this, the big game.
Wait, it's on right now?
Huh?
The game
I don't
is
know.
on. I don't know.
It could happen at any time today.
Is that how it works?
It's one of the most
surprise
exciting parts of the big game.
That's why they're just waiting.
And we're huge game fans.
Game fans.
The bigger the game, the better, And so I thought, who better to have on the pod than big game experts, an expert on games, Sam Kemp, and I hope I'm saying that right.
That is the correct pronunciation. Yes, that's very well done.
So I guess, tell us what's your
game of choice.
Game. Yeah, I hope it's big.
Well, as much as I do love the big game and all the big men that are gonna smash into each other over and over again,
they're smashing,
just really pressing hard against each other at high velocities. As much as I really enjoyed that, that's not really I guess I didn't prep you guys well for the games that I'm more into like Dungeons and Dragons kinda is the game that I'm sort of into. Which is there's a lot less meat and velocity involved with that one.
It's like a team or something on the big game?
Yeah, no. It's
the Lions, the freaking
the dungeons.
So that's who's in the big game, Dungeons versus Dragons. That's exciting. Because I'm no expert. I'm no fair weather fan over here, I guess. So
there's going to be a lot more fire, maybe a spell. Should be entertaining.
And you're not fucking around, you're for real. You're not about the big game.
No, I'm not really what you'd call a sporto. I never have been. I don't have like the fortitude for like competitive anything. I'm more about collaboration,
But that's not a game.
Well, I think that depends on whether there's a win or lose condition, and I like winning or losing as a team as opposed to like conflicting against each other.
What the hell's this guy?
I don't get it.
I have no idea if I'm being honest with you guys.
Well, it's kind of like, so I don't know if you know anything about this, but it's sort of like what I like to use is like if you're in like a group of people that each have like an instrument or some device that like makes pleasant noises. And so you all sort of like work together to like at the same time to like achieve some sort of like goal, like entertainment or something. And if you suck, you fail together. But if you're great, you win together, like a collaboration. Does that sound familiar?
Hey, now, we've asked dozens of people
I was waiting.
to come on this very show and describe music to someone who's never heard music before.
Yeah.
And every time they fail and almost act like it's a stupid question.
And then here you come.
You come on here unprompted and actually independently decide that this is such a smart question that you're using it as a metaphor to describe something else.
It was beautiful.
I'm blown away over here.
This is all the validation I've ever needed to hear that maybe I'm very smart. And that makes me a little more open to listen to your insane ideas about how games work.
Well, I do appreciate that. I am in the avant-garde in that I like, games where everyone can win and feel good, and you don't have to like, destroy like a friend of yours in a competitive game and then teabag them as they cry. That's kind of not the vibe I'm into.
What's that now?
So that is oh boy, okay. That is when you defeat someone in combat or in a game, an online game like your Call of Duties, your Battlefields, various other games, and you
clear win conditions in those.
Yes, lots very sharp, angular, painful win conditions. And when your enemy is laying dead before you, you will position yourself kind of like above them and sort of crouch. And so I don't want to be blue, your testicles, your scrotum, like a bag of tea dipped in like a cup of hot water, you dip that into their face or just like whatever orifice is available, I guess.
I'm sorry, and just to make sure that I'm understanding, this is not what you like.
No, not into that. Not into that.
Because you seem to have a pretty clear understanding of it. So. I've never heard of this. And I didn't even know that in Call of Duty your testicles were out. I didn't know that was a part.
That's the crazy part to me.
So it's a mod. Some hackers got in, and so you can download some software. It's kind of like top tier stuff. I don't go for that again.
Hackers these days. Chinese spy balloon,
Oh my god!
Oh man. Well, okay. And you said that this is Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes. Dungeons and Dragons is the game I play and like to play. And
I think maybe I've heard of this. Is this the one where that's how you meet the devil?
Yeah. Now, there was actually a problem in the 70s and 80s where a lot of people couldn't
meet the devil, and so they made this game. So
absolutely, yeah. A lot of people did successfully conjure demonic spirits, and the news got wind of that, and everyone got really upset because, you can use Dungeons and Dragons to summon demons in your home, and your children will, and that's something that they won't. They try to tell you can't,
well, it's like a Ouija
and that it was
board.
like
What's the difference?
exactly.
What's the difference?
Yeah, what's the difference?
Yeah,
what is the difference?
So the difference with a Ouija board is like you use that to contact, like, I don't know, your grandma or like your dead ex-lover or something like that, like ghosts, and they'll talk to you. With Dungeons and Dragons, you summon actual demons in the flesh, like in circles. You have to draw them on the ground in blood first, but after that, like, it's just demons all day.
Damn.
That's cool. That's cool though.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
Cool.
That's why I got into it mostly, was the demon summoning.
Because I'll tell you, Grandma don't got nothing to say no more. You know what I mean? I'm calling her up and I'm going like, I didn't like calling you when you were alive.
Right.
What makes it cool now? You have reverb on your voice?
I like that.
So, I guess, okay. Because I admittedly, I was excited to talk the gridiron. You know, I thought,
Sure.
oh, we're going to get into the plays and stuff. And I don't, obviously, I just said gridiron, I just said plays. So I know a lot about football.
Sure.
Explain this bullshit to me.
Well, look, and that's my bad. I didn't mean to gaslight you. You know, obviously, we should tell the listeners, like, I got on the show because I told you I was an expert in
Games.
the big game, and that's you know, I hate to like pull the rug out from under you, but yeah, now that I'm here,
We
I do.
it to people all the time. Taste of our own medicine. Medicine.
Taste your own medicine.
Taste of our own medicine.
Yeah, you guys can edit around that, right? You know how to edit a podcast, right?
Excuse me?
Cut that out.
So what? Yeah, what's Dungeons and Dragons? What kind of gear do I need? What kind of field is it played on?
Right.
You know,
Yeah. Helmets.
So D&D is it's a board game. It's
Hold up.
Yeah.
D&D.
Yeah.
Dungeon. Got it.
Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, we short
got
those in the know, like
Okay.
myself. We like to shorten it so because it's less syllables.
Because it's long,
And,
right?
You know,
Okay.
like LOL,
I'm a
which is
Mhm.
you know,
League
What's
of
that?
Legends.
yeah.
I know that one.
He loves League of Legends.
I play League. Gotta know your lanes,
Oh.
man. Explain this fucking game, man.
Okay, so Dungeons and Dragons is a board game where you play fantastical heroes that go on adventures and quests to like kill monsters and you know, like save kingdoms and just kind of fulfill any weird sort of like power fantasy you might have. It's a storytelling game. There's a lot of rules involved, but basically someone like myself, a dungeon master, which
Sam
is not
Kemp.
a kink term. Not a kink term. Can't say that enough. I've had some problems in the past on like Tinder. People see dungeon master and they get wrong
Excited.
They get
ideas.
horny. They get horny.
Yeah. Horned up bad.
Yeah. They're asking me to
I
do
get it.
stuff. I'm like, I've never even heard of that. So it's yeah.
But now you
but-
have, so maybe
Yes,
now
give it a shot, dude.
Give it a shot.
But yeah, so the dungeon master makes up a fantastical narrative with an objective at the end and obstacles and enemies in between the players and that objective. And the players make up these characters who are, you know, warriors with armor and weapons and supernatural abilities, and you just kick ass and take names for a couple hours until you slay the dragon or find the treasure or destroy the enchanted gem. And yeah, the game's been around since the 70s. There was a whole satanic panic around it in the late 70s and 80s, which was pretty rad because all the demon summoning, again,
Yeah.
real
And
issue, real problem.
Do you think that we could bring that back? I feel like Satanic Panic is kind of coming around again, and maybe we.
Oh,
could
for
get
sure. Yeah. No, I mean, with
D&D
the
in the
current political
spotlight.
climate, I think we could convince anyone of fucking anything.
Cool.
If you have the right Twitter account, absolutely. We could definitely get that going again. I don't know if we want to launch that here, just workshop that, but
so. I think that would be good for it. Not any news is good news. Any promo, we're talking about it. You know,
my God.
that kind of thing. We're talking about it. What was I gonna say?
I don't know, man.
Couldn't tell you.
Because that did sum it up for me pretty well. I guess I do know what it is now. I have no further questions. Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure, and I appreciate you having me on. It's yeah.
Let's just hang, you know?
Sure.
Yeah, I
Questions
guess we
are
can
done.
just chill.
Let's
And
just
now that
hang.
the work's over, what are you guys up to? How's it going?
Just, I don't know.
Sitting.
Doing
Yeah,
this.
sitting.
You know?
Yeah,
I
I'm
did
just
that
like-
thing. You guys ever do this where like you have a thing that you got
Yep.
to do at
Yes.
10? Let's say at
Mhm.
10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it's
I can do-
8:30.
Uh-huh.
And then you're going, well, I better not wash that cup because I have that thing at 10.
I do that when I have something at 8 p.m. all
I was
day.
just gonna say that will destroy an entire day for me. I won't get up. Like
Yeah.
if I gotta do a thing at 6:30 and it's 9 a.m. I can't do fucking
Yeah.
anything.
Might as well wait. I'll get up at 5, take a shower then, and then I can just go. I don't
Yeah.
have to.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it about myself. I hate it. And I
There are
feel-
times
Oh, Dylan, please tell me about the
Sorry.
times.
there are times I don't get stuff done at work because I have something to do after work,
Right.
which seems nuts to me, but it happens.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
You guys ever there's a podcast actually, Sam, about kind of what you're talking about.
Oh yeah.
It's called Challenge Rating Zero.
Oh shit, I've heard of that. I think I make that show actually, which is weird. That's weird that you even brought that up because I think I make that.
Oh, what a
That's-
coincidence.
You fucking with me?
No, I'm not fucking, man. I'm not fucking at all.
Holy
Well,
shit.
that's I'm
you know.
He's
Never,
not
we don't-
fucking.
Yeah.
You're
got
not
it. We don't got to
fucking me.
expand on that. Yeah, I Challenge Rating Zero is a podcast I make where we me and my friends just play D&D and we record it on microphones because the great thing about this game is that the whole point of it is to just make stories, like communal storytelling, that teamwork stuff, you know.
Mm.
And
It's like for
it,
people that can't pretend good and they have to have someone tell them how to do it.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
Cool.
The job of any dungeon master is basically to be referee for grown-ups playing pretend, and that's my entire job. Is like, no, you pretended wrong. You have to pretend this other way because the rules say that, and that's pretty much what I do.
You sound like a bully.
Yeah, I can be for sure. As when you're running a game of Dungeons and Dragons, as the dungeon master, I basically decide like everything, what time of day it is, who the characters meet, who they run into, who's trying to kill them. So yeah, I can just completely ruin their lives if I wanted to.
So you call the shots.
Yeah, pretty much. It's it is intoxicating, and sometimes you get megalomaniacal and you just
I don't
You know,
poison
you
my
just-
body with that stuff. So you're telling me, and Courtney and Dylan, you're telling us.
Yes,
said-
you ran
and
the
I-
potential hosts, yes.
I believe I heard this, and correct me if I'm wrong. You said you can play this on microphones?
You absolutely can. Yeah.
Like,
It's,
you're saying, like, you're telling me, like, you could play this over Zoom?
You absolutely can. That's the great thing about it. It's a storytelling game, so it actually lends itself pretty well to the medium of podcasting. My show is a very small barnacle on the great ship that is D&D podcasting, and we're just trying to get by as best we can. If you guys wanted
We're
to,
on Zoom right now.
yeah, I'm always ready to ride. If you guys want to play some fantastical Dungeons and Dragons adventures, like
Well, what would we do? What would we do? What would we even do?
What do we even do?
Like, what do
How do we even like?
What would we
What do
like,
we,
do?
well, I guess the first step would be like deciding what kind of characters
Chris.
you are. Sure, Chris is a great name for a fantasy character. Here, let me write
Lisa
that down.
Simpson.
Actually,
Oh,
I want to be Lisa Simpson.
she's Lisa Simpson.
that's great.
I want it to be Chris.
You can be.
Chris is taken. Okay, there's only one Chris, and it's claimed. And I'm sorry, as the dungeon master, I have to rule that there's only one Chris.
Wow, he did
Now,
it.
if you want to be Chris too, we can do that.
I would
Like,
love that. That would be
Dylan,
perfect
what if
for
you
me.
were Chris Twofer?
Can I be Chris Twofer?
Sure. I'm less
He
wild
doesn't
about
like
that,
it.
but it's your
He doesn't
character.
actually like it.
It's your
He actually
character. That's
doesn't like
fine.
it at all.
Chris
though.
Toofer. That's good. I don't want to step on your creative process. This is
Yes,
your
you
character.
do. Yes, you do. You said that. You said that's what you want to do.
You said
I-
I'm going to step on your creative process.
I can do that. Do I want to? Like, don't make me. I guess is my thing. Like, don't make me do that. Is the thing.
Not a kink, he says. Listen to this guy. He's boned up so hard he can't hardly stand it. He can't stand. He can't stand without a
Yeah,
book.
definitely
to put in
can't
front
stand,
of
you
it,
know what I'm talking
saying?
about.
Put a book.
I
in
mean,
front of it.
I'm sitting down pretty hard right now. So we got Chris and Lisa Simpson, and we've got Chris Toofer. Chris the Lesser. Well, maybe Chris.
Hey,
just
no,
a
no.
backup Chris.
I don't know. I don't. Although maybe that could be something Chris Toofer has to overcome. His feelings
Character
and-
flaws and emotional baggage is the heart of this game. You're making up an entire person whose role you're going to play, and they've got wants and needs, an entire backstory, maybe crippling emotional complex or
Saxophone.
neuroses.
saxophone, vegetarian,
Mm-hmm.
precocious older
Blonde.
brother, blonde, spiky hair. I think Chris's deal is like he's like a regular guy. He's
Mhm.
like in a band,
Sure.
and he's got this funny and fun podcast that he
Sure.
does.
Gotcha.
And he's 5'11". He's 5'11".
Okay.
Sam, can we like
Lie.
lie?
Not only can you lie, that's the entire fucking point of this game. It's Dungeons and Dragons it's a wish fulfillment engine. Sure, there's books full of rules. Sure, there's dice and like game mechanics or whatever the fuck. But the entire point of this game is to pretend that you are someone with like actual power and agency that can actually have a meaningful impact on the world around you. That's kind of the whole. That's kind of the whole thing.
6 foot.
Yeah,
Chris is
there you go.
6 foot tall.
Now we're playing Dungeons and Dragons. There
Chris
you
is
go.
6 foot tall, and his podcast gets quad dig every time.
Quad fucking dig. Quad dig.
Wow, this is
Absolutely.
getting really fun.
This is insane.
How do you feel, Matt? I mean,
I-
Chris.
I feel confident. Chris is confident,
Mhm.
and he always knows what to say, and he doesn't stammer and say all the time. And he can
Sure.
edit his podcast.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Editing power. Okay. Write that down. And Chris Toofer, what kind of magical adventurer are you?
I just like hang out, man. Like
Okay, so chill.
I'm just like
Chill,
super
bro.
chill.
Dylan, do you think Chris Toofer would have as many guns as you have in real life, or maybe even more?
It seems pointless for anybody to have that many. He can have a normal amount of guns.
Okay.
Okay. Normal
still-
gun.
Probably huge.
Hundreds. Yeah. He has hundreds, but he has nowhere near the amount that I have personally.
Yeah.
Ooh, he can get really small,
Okay. Now that's
like Ant-Man.
there you go. That's a magic power, and that's the
Yeah.
kind of shit you can do in this game.
Yeah,
All right,
he can
small
get really
powers.
small, like
Like
I wa-
Ant-Man.
like Ant-Man or the Wasp.
Do your guns get small too, or are you
Nope.
sometimes crushed by your enormous firearms when you
well,
shrink?
I'm super strong when I'm small, like Ant-Man,
Okay.
so I can
Right.
lift the gun,
Sure.
but it does not get small with me.
Okay,
Oh, and-
gotcha.
And his fingers stay really long, so he can still shoot him.
So
Yeah, I
small
look like
body, normal fingers.
Yeah, I look
is
like a
what-
fucked up spider when I'm small because I just got these big fingers.
Ant. Fucked
Yeah,
up
but-
ant.
But
They both have their legs are kind of the same. Just have more of them.
Yeah, but I want it to look like a spider because that's creepier.
Oh, unless you mean
Oh, you're terrified of spiders.
Me, but you know who isn't?
Chris Toofer.
Toofer.
Chris Toofer.
do you mean that you lose 2 fingers when you get small?
Yeah,
Like a fucked
my
up spider?
thumbs. I don't have any thumbs when I was, which is annoying. Like when you're,
Oh,
I don't have opposable thumbs anymore. I
So,
get
so Chris
small and
Toofer shrinks down 4 normal-sized fingers, but shrunken thumbs. Is
Yeah.
what we're sort of a weird like.
Right. So I shrink down, realize I forgot to open the door to the room I'm in. I got to get big again because I can't operate the knob.
But you're holding 2 guns the whole time, and they're massive.
They're pretty big guns, and I'm super
Okay, gotcha.
strong like that. I get my
Sure.
fingers are stronger than
I
when
forgot
I'm.
to write that down. Super strong.
Maybe one of the problems with you could be, let's say you're hurt and you have to drink a health potion, but it's hard to pick up because you're holding 2 enormous guns.
A health potion, Matt? Are you fucking hustling me? That's like
League of
that's some
Legends
deep cut shit.
League of Legends has health potion. I thought I'm just kind of guessing. I'm just
because that's a Dungeons and Dragons thing. And if you like know about the game already, like that's you
Health
gotta tell me.
potions?
Oh, I didn't know that Dungeons and Dragons ripped stuff off of League of Legends. That's interesting. I mean,
You are on
good
on
artists.
the thinnest ice right now, sir. And I need you to just step back from the brink, okay? D&D invented all this shit. Health potions and, leveling up and
Ant-Man.
experience points. It's Ant-Man. They invented Ant-Man for sure.
That's cool.
That is
It predates all fiction,
Okay.
all media.
Whoa.
Simpson. Yeah.
Fiction.
It's the
Wow.
Rosetta Stone of pop culture, Dungeons and Dragons, basically.
Oh.
Like
Damn.
it's everything came from it. It's an infinite wellspring of IP. And so, I just wanted to get that out there because not a lot of people know that.
Is Jesus
I didn't.
in there?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Jesus is he's
he
a
have
level
powers?
13. Yeah, he's a level 13 elf and he fights with an enchanted longsword. And people don't know this shit.
Whoa.
That's cool.
I didn't know that.
Mm-mm.
I definitely didn't.
No idea.
That's
Well, never mind. I was going to say I want to be able to walk on water, but I don't want to blaspheme. I don't feel like I should take the powers of our Lord and Savior. So, okay, we've got, honestly, very cool characters.
No, I've been playing D&D for like 2 decades. These are some of the dopest and strongest characters I've ever
All right.
ever seen.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got Chris, who's like just a regular dude with a band, and he's a very good podcaster, and he's specifically 6 foot with quad dig download counts.
Maybe
we've got Lisa Simpson
with no shoes on, Sam. Maybe
with no shoes.
on.
Okay.
He's 6 foot.
Gotcha. Now, is Chris your Dungeons and Dragons character? Do his nipples just transmogrify every 5 seconds, or is that are we separating you out from the character as far as nipple play?
There's nothing
that
we're separating all of it from me. It's
sure. Got it.
And,
okay.
And he doesn't have that compulsion. He's healthy. He's normal.
Okay, gotcha. So no nipple play, and then we got Lisa Simpson.
Yeah.
Lisa Simpson plays saxophone, is vegetarian, a little nihilistic, just way smarter than
all
everyone
that Lisa
around
stuff,
her.
Yeah,
Mensa. for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got Chris Toofer, who is just hundreds of guns and has the powers to get small but remain super strong and still hold the massive guns. So that's great.
And the fingers.
Big
fingers.
And big fingers. Do my fingers get bigger? That'd be cool.
Maybe as you level.
Yeah. If you get to level 2, you can get bigger, but your fingers stay the same size. So you get bigger, but your fingers stay small.
Maybe my fingers get even bigger than when they normally are. The rest of me gets small, but my fingers get large.
Well,
sure.
I gotta tell
we can compartmentalize that.
I can't follow this anymore.
Sam,
so what you're
Oh.
You shrink down to like a foot tall and your fingers are like 8 feet long. Is that what we're talking about?
That's probably a little too long, but maybe they're like a foot long. Like my fingers are as long as my body at that point.
Okay. Yeah,
They're
this is getting
long.
hard to follow. That's fine.
Okay, great.
Well, Sam, it was fun. That actually kicked ass.
Yeah, that was
Dungeons
a really
and
fun
Dragons is
game.
fun.
So that's how you do it. Wow.
Yeah.
Did we win or what?
Well, what normally happens after you make characters is that I'd say something like, you find yourselves at the entrance to a yawning cave mouth leading into depths unexplored by any travelers before you. The king has given you the mission of extracting from the corrupted depths of Shatterspike Cave the ancient gem of Alarak, which houses within its core. Yeah, see? And then people just stop giving a shit. And that's the problem.
Well, I'll tell you right now,
that's at a certain part, like I have to start talking and like telling a story, and then like, yeah, that's when it gets like iffy.
This sounds like we should call professional. We have no spelunking experience. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm too scared.
Yeah.
For that.
Well, that's, a lot of Dungeons and Dragons is dungeons. Yeah.
That actually makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really think about that.
Now, much like anything can be a song, anything can be a dungeon. So like a dungeon could be the hold of a ship. It could be an arcane university. It could be a fucking hole in the ground or an ancient temple or a store.
Can it be a mall?
Sure, it can absolutely be a mall.
Let's do that. Can we do that?
Okay. Sure, yeah.
Tell it again.
You three find yourselves at the entrance to the most radical mall in all the land.
Holy shit. Now this I like.
The Lion's Share Mall. You have been tasked with collecting sick new skateboards for the Skate Expo coming up at the end of the day. And you need the sickest decks available.
Damn, and that could be tough because malls, there's less and less malls out there and less specialty shops, and it might be hard to find a skateboard store in there. So this is
it's a true mission right here.
I'm okay. This is great. This is fun. I'm having fun.
As you enter the mall, you are all faced with a reoccurring villain in this game that we've just made up. Which is a ogre security guard.
Shrek?
Is it Shrek?
Yes. Yeah,
Shrek-sophone?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's Shrek for sure.
Cool.
That's a bummer. Like that he's like, not to say that like working security at a mall is a bummer, but like Shrek had his own like swamp.
Yeah, what happened,
It's like, what happened?
Well, Fiona divorced him, took everything, including his swamp house, and so he's just trying to fucking get by, Damn. And he's taking that out on you, your adventuring party.
Sucks.
Sam, now this is gonna be crazy, I think, because I know that you want us to cut his head off or blow his brains out.
I got guns.
He's got guns.
There's so many guns.
And is it
the guns are right there.
Could we try to just talk to the guy?
You can always try to talk to the guy for sure.
Now, I played League of Legends. I can't do that. I gotta cut all their heads off. That's the only way. And you're telling me in this game I'm allowed?
Absolutely. The great
Shrek?
thing about the great thing about Dungeons and Dragons is that there's no invisible walls like a video game. There's no fucking programmers, right? You can do anything you fucking want.
Except you.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. I'm like a
Can we roll to tell him to be like, we're gonna go up to him, we're gonna be like, dude, Fiona's a bitch, dude. That fucking sucks about your swamp.
Absolutely, yeah. You reach deep into the beating heart of this real person that you see and try to connect with them on an emotional level. Now
we reach down through the layers.
Yeah, absolutely.
What if we offered him some reefer? Can we do that?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. You pull out like the fattest, sickest J that you just rolled in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Now, typically at this point, I'd ask you to like roll a dice because there's a lot of dice involved in this game.
Crazy.
I suppose you have
dice.
Yeah, they are. They're many sided.
What number dice? Well, how many sides do I need?
I think I have one of those over there.
I'll ask Google.
So you need typically when you play this game, you need a dice that has 20 sides on it. There's 8-sided, 10-sided, 12-sided, just every kind. dice, really.
Okay.
Which
well, here, hold on.
Hey, Google, roll a 20-sided die.
She didn't.
She didn't hear us.
Hey, Google, roll a 20-sided die.
She's doing it. 19.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh,
Wow.
fuck yes. Yeah. As you approach Shrek the Ogre Mall security guard, you offer him this just sick-ass fucking joint, and you commiserate with him about his recent divorce and the loss of his swamp shack, and he brightens considerably in your presence and takes that joint and just lights it up right there in the middle of this fucking mall.
Yeah,
He
that's
doesn't
cool.
give a fuck about his job because
Alright.
he's connecting with people.
We knew he was
right?
cool.
He's back amongst the
Fuck,
people. And
man.
he splits that shit with all three of you guys.
Hell yeah.
Damn. And then our points go up, I guess, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you get like 8,000 experience points. You level up 3 times, and you win. And it's just that easy.
Because
You've won Dungeons and Dragons. It's just that easy.
It's right there.
Wow.
Is it hard to play when everybody's screaming at their Google or Alexa?
Well, typically the people I play with have dice, or I provide them with dice.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
I can wrap my head around that one.
Yeah, they're typically not screaming across the room. But, if that's your comfort zone, that's, no judgment here. I typically in addition to making the podcast, I do a little work as a professional dungeon master. People hire me to come to their place and run games for them. So you do owe me $100. I just wanted to throw that. You can Venmo me or like whatever you want to do. That's because this does count. But
Okay. Okay.
we'll
And
settle
we
that
try
later.
to not do that. What do we try to not? We
We refuse. We refuse.
Hey, Google, roll a 20-sided die.
Oh, 26 it said.
that now
So
see
I
that doesn't.
guess-
I don't
That
think.
seems pretty
So
cool, though.
Yes.
Guess you put some extra sides on there, huh?
I mean, we just.
That'd be pretty smart.
Is that
wouldn't it?
cheating?
Yeah, a little bit. If you if you just make your own dice at home.
Since we didn't know, can we should be able to do it one time.
Yeah,
you never said
Sure,
that.
Yeah.
sure.
We didn't know
You
the
know what?
rules.
Yeah, let's go drug dealer rules. The first taste is free.
Okay.
So that's fine. That's fine. But yeah, typically when people hire me, I bring like a rolling case full of gear and all my shit, so they don't have to have like anything. I show up at people's places and I have dice and character sheets and minis and everything they need to play, and I just it's a whole fucking kit.
I don't know what any of that is. Now, Sam, this is fun. Let's say some fucking nerd heard this and said, I'm into this, baby. I want to see this big time. What you got going on?
Thank you so much for that lovely segue. I actually have a show coming up. So on the 24th of February at 7 p.m., the St. Louis Art Museum is doing an event called Slam Underground. So the museum's open till late. They've got like, DJ and lights and drinks and all kinds of shit. And I've been hired because the museum has a new selection of like arms and armor that are going to be on display, which is actually pretty sick. It's called Age of Armor. It's just a whole bunch of awesome weapons and medieval armor and stuff. They hired me to do a D&D live show. So I'm going to be running a game with some local comedians and improv actors and stuff for the public. We're just going to be rolling dice and playing D&D. And anyone can roll up and come watch the fun. It should be silly and dumb and awesome.
Yeah, we like it. That's not how we play D&D.
No,
So, like
it's
silly.
not.
I'm not saying. I think that would be fun to see.
To
But,
should
like,
be like silly and
we
fun,
like to take
but
it seriously. So.
Yeah, I like to take it seriously and like. I think like the way we do it, like the way Lisa would actually act. You know what
Sure,
I mean?
sure. Yeah.
She's an
Very
adult,
serious.
by the way. when we
Right.
play. That's why she had the joint. We don't think
She rolls fat J's.
we don't think 7-year-olds should have big fat J's. That's not what we're saying, obviously.
I mean, maybe.
Sure.
Well, I don't
I
think
guess
anybody
maybe.
should, right? That's
Yeah.
maybe Chris does. Maybe Chris does poison his body with that stuff.
Oh yeah, wait, he shared a fat J with Shrek.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, that's canon. That's in the stories.
Yeah.
You're just a debased fucking
Chris is
scuzzy
cool.
pothead.
Yeah.
Chris is
I'd
very
hang with
cool.
Chris. I'd hang with Chris. Do you ever
Yeah.
fall in love with one of your characters?
Yeah. My therapist says it's not healthy, but like fuck them, right?
Yeah,
like
right.
it's
Right.
my imagination.
I don't
but
think
yeah,
you're supposed to
people-
fuck your therapist.
Yeah, people can get really like attached to their characters emotionally. It's like that's a thing that happens. You know, if you do take this game seriously, like you guys do, you know, you can end up
Thank you.
playing a character in a campaign for years, years and years, going through all sorts of adventures and quests, like developing their personality and going through like, weird life experiences and stuff. And people get very attached.
You're telling me it takes people years to find the skateboard sometimes?
Sometimes, yeah.
And we beat
Sometimes,
it in like 15 minutes?
Yeah. No,
So,
well,
like,
you
we're-
guess found the cheat code. You brought that magic blunt, and
They
so like,
forget
yeah,
the
you
blunt.
you circumvented all the side quests and shit. But yeah, you
That's fucking cool.
you can be doing this stuff for years. And I've ran a couple games where people got like, choked up and teary eyed at the table because it can D&D can do anything, and you can go find a skateboard at the mall, or you can like avenge the death of your slain parents, or do fucking anything in between. So yeah, sometimes you get a little too into it, and then you summon a demon, and
Oh, that's how that happens.
That's cool though.
they feed off the emotions is how it works. So
Oh.
Oh.
That makes sense.
Yep.
That makes
Okay.
sense.
yeah.
what pulls them through the portal?
And I was stoked when we found that skateboard. So we're in danger, I think. Or
Right.
not. I don't know. I guess I shouldn't. What? That's my biases. And I'm saying a demon's going to be bad, but maybe they're cool
Yeah,
and
maybe
chill
it's a
and
cool
just
demon.
want to hang.
I mean, all the demons I've summoned have been pretty chill. It's more like Devil at the Crossroads and less like Hellraiser. Like it's like, hey, like what do you need and stuff, and they don't know. You can't see or like measure a soul, so I've signed my shit away like a dozen times. They don't know like
Yeah.
that.
They don't have like a database of
No, the paper trail's fucking non-existent.
Oh,
All the
that's-
paper burns up like as soon as they go back to hell.
Yeah,
it's a pretty sick
super hot
loophole.
down there. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't last.
You can't
That's
see
cool.
or measure a soul.
That's beautiful.
Man, I'm going to be thinking about that one for a long time. Because it's like true,
Matt, you all right, man?
Huh? Oh,
You
I
doing
was
okay?
just like,
Yeah, I know.
does Chris have a soul?
Will Chris ever die?
He just feels so real, Like I could just I feel like I could see myself standing in front of him, looking up into his eyes about 2 inches,
Yeah.
and just
Shoot
being
a
like,
3 maybe.
it's like 2. Like 2 for sure.
Okay.
Just being like, dang, dude, like your clothes fit so well. Like you're wearing new shoes instead of just like the same old Chucks. You wear all the scuzzy old Chucks. He's got
Just
a
thinking
new-
about the quad dig, because Chris has
he's
got.
got-
I bet he's.
Oh.
You know what though? I bet he's not even thinking about it. I
Right,
bet
what-
if you ask Chris, like, "Hey, how many listens you get?" He'd go, "Oh, I don't really know. I don't really check that stuff."
It's not important to him.
He just does it for the love of it. This podcast is so fun and funny.
I was thinking about your trip dig numbers the other
Yeah.
day, because I do listen to your show, And
Wow.
Oh no.
I should, yeah, there's better ways to spend my time, but I do listen. And the thing you need to do, what you fucked up is people can listen to a single episode of your show and then dip out, right? If they like the person you're interviewing or just you in general. But my show is episodic, so you have to start at episode 1
wow.
and follow along the track because you can't just jump in. So we are almost at quad dig on episode 1 now. That drops precipitously for episode 2, and then it drops again at 3. A lot of people have tried it, but you know,
That's sweet. At least they tried.
If you condense all the listens at the start, you get a nice, you know, that'll really get your numbers up for episode 1. And that you should think about making this episodic, get like some subplots going. People got to check in. Try a cliffhanger. You know, you could be the DM of your own podcast.
Okay. All right. Okay. Sam, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.